Hello, I'm Dr. Neil Schultz, and welcome to DermTV. I am totally passionate about exfoliation because I think exfoliation is the single most important therapeutic skincare treatment that you can do to get more beautiful and healthier looking skin. Exfoliants can be chemical exfoliants, which dissolve the dead cells off the surface, or they can be physical exfoliants, which actually mechanically move the dead cells off the surface. But I far prefer chemical exfoliants for two very important reasons. First, you get much more predictable and precise exfoliation with chemicals, and therefore more precise and predictable results. And second of all, far fewer irritations and side effects. Let's first talk about the precision of chemical exfoliants. If you're using a state-of-the-art, newer chemical exfoliant like the ones I discussed in Update on Chemical Exfoliants, and it's pH adjusted and buffered, then the strength of that chemical exfoliant is completely consistent within the tube from the first application from the tube to the last. And the amount of exfoliation you get, the results you get, is proportional only to the strength of that acid. It has nothing to do with the amount of the product you put on the skin or the amount of time you leave it there. So when you put the product on the skin, regardless of how thick it is, because it's only the thin layer in contact with the surface that's doing what you want it to do, regardless of that or how long you leave it there because you actually want it to be absorbed into the skin, you get predictable, precise depth of exfoliation and therefore results. However, with physical exfoliants, the depth of exfoliation that you get, whether you remove this much or this much, depends on three things. It depends on how strongly you actually exfoliate, how strong you rub. It also depends on how long you do it and what the actual material is that you're using. So you could be using a buff puff or a loofah, an abrasive cleanser or a scrub, microdermabrasion, or even a razor. And depending on what you're using and how long you're exfoliating for will determine how much of the dead cells you're actually removing. The harder I rub, the longer I rub, the more dead cells that come off. The other issue with chemical versus physical exfoliants is that you get far fewer side effects with chemical exfoliants because if you're going to have an irritation with a chemical, first you get a little flaking, then a little irritation, and you see it coming. You feel that something's wrong long before you get a raw red area. So you realize what's happening, and you back off, and you go lighter, or you do less. But with physical exfoliants, it seems to be that people tend to think that if a little is good, more is better. And so it's not that rare for them to use a lot of strength and to keep rubbing and rubbing and rubbing, thinking that the more they rub, the better that they do. And at the end of the day, when you're done exfoliating, if your skin looks like this, then I believe you know that you've gone a little bit too deep if you can see blood, and that's why I far prefer chemical exfoliants to physical exfoliants. Please join me again at dermtv.com. If you have a question, please send it to me by visiting dermtv.com/question. I'm Dr. Neil Schultz, and thank you for watching today.